Well, it's the intensive part. Uh, some people, when they're studying classical Tibetan, particularly at the beginning, benefit greatly by having an immersive experience. And we've just seen for many years, there are always people who want to do this for 20 years. It's clearly not for everybody. And there are people who would like to do it, but they just can't take the time off. But there is a a common locus of people who want to do it and can do it. And since we're global, the only real problem is time zones for other people. So it's so much easier than it used to be. Uh, uh, I've already started getting applications of people that are looking pretty interesting to me already. I'm thinking it's looking pretty good this year. In order for you to have a good time, you, the student, it's nice to have a good fit with what your interests are and what course you're in. Uh, if you are early on with learning Tibetan, if you're still working with the alphabet, then it would be a very good idea to take the introductory course, and it would be not such a great idea to take the translation course. So it's a good fit for where you're interested. Then we have a bunch of other courses that are just interesting. It's just a case of, oh, I think I'd like to know a bit more about Tibetan history. So that's going to be kind of fun. And just because I don't really have much of an aesthetic sense, a lot of people do, and we've got a very interesting course in Tibetan handwriting, which is a very complex topic that people are interested in. So that's kind of fun. Um, then for the very hardcore folks who do sort of academic translation, one of the issues that we face is citation of authority to Indian text. And this is just a technical thing that you should learn. And it's kind of fun to learn it. I turned it into kind of a detective story, see if we can get to the bottom of things. But it's just the amazing thing that it's not going to the library and trying to find a book that's 1,000 pages long and then looking through it line by line. We're doing this all in the computer, sitting around, drinking the beverage of our choice. So this is these are amazing times for that. Now, this is you're entirely self-motivated here. You put as much time into courses as you want to. Uh, Certainly, some of the history courses, there might be people who would just like to drop in and hear the lectures. That seems perfectly fine to me. I would do that when I was in graduate school. I'd go to other classes and just drop in and hear what was being said. Uh, Now, if you are wanting to learn Tibetan, that's going to take more work, but it's entirely up to you how much more work you want to do. It's like we've got the instruction, but there's no pressure. Uh, and we record all our Zoom classes for a couple of reasons. But we don't expect everybody to show up in class every day. It's really up to the student. You come when you want to. You come when you can. We're happy to see you when you show up. Uh, and if you can't make it at the time when the classes are, this is good to have everything recorded so you can drop in and look into those. But I have to say, in my era, Jules and I, when we were learning Tibetan with Joe Wilson and Betsy Napper and Jeffrey Hopkins, we would record the classes on cassette, and then we'd have to go home and listen to the recording a couple of times just to pick up all the material. So we've reduced the way that we learned well to make it available for other people. That's really a good question because really different kinds of people. There's some people that are students going into graduate school in Buddhist studies with the ambition to get a doctorate. And they are perhaps they're just starting this year, or sometimes they're out of sync with their new university's Tibetan program, so they may have to pick up a year of university level Tibetan in the summer. Now, there will also be people in those classes who are under no pressure at all and are learning to read Tibetan slowly over time. And they enjoy just having it's an ongoing refresher course for them, an opportunity to just to spend more time with it. Uh, there's really a wide range. All of these have a grounding in academic Buddhist studies, but they're also all appealing to practitioners of Tibetan Buddhism in America. They all are in some ways uh, informing our practice one way or the other. So we're not a religious institution, but we realize that most of our students are involved with some kind of meditation practice. It's involved with it somewhat. Uh, so we're aware that there's a tie in there. And of course, as long as I'm saying that, one of our real goals is to give students the Tibetan skills so they can work with their lamas better. Uh, Meeting them halfway helps both sides. Uh, we're not taking the place of lamas at all, but if we can help you understand them and they understand you better, that's good. Well, I think they can trust their instincts if they just read through the course offerings. If any of them go, "Oh, that's interesting," there's your reason. And if you read through them and just none of them like ping you like that, then maybe this summer's course offerings aren't for you. You can really trust your own gut on this.